Hi, everybody. Rico Brower and I are here to interview another pirate um, before the European elections, the European Parliament elections. I'm a pirate from Norway, he's a pirate from Holland. And today I think we have a doctor among us.
Doctor.
Um, Patrick, could you tell us your full name, your profession, and describe your political experience, if you will?
Sure. My name is Patrick Breyer. I'm in the legal profession and I'm a civil liberties activist and a longtime member of the German Pirate Party. And yes, I do a lot in the domain of protecting civil liberties. And I have a little political experience because I was a member of the regional parliament here in Schleswig-Holstein in northern Germany for 5 years for the Pirates. And I'm the lead candidate for the upcoming EU elections for the German Pirate Party.
Thank you. Could you tell me a little bit about the history of the Pirate Party of Germany? Really short, maybe?
Yes, sure. It was founded in 2006. I was one of the founding members. It was very small, but it grew soon. And basically, it stands on the same platform as other pirate parties. So, civil liberties, transparency, reform of copyright law, yes, direct democracy, such like. And in 2011, the Pirate Party for the first time managed to enter the Berlin Regional Parliament. They got, I think, about 7% of the vote. And consecutively, we entered 3 more regional parliaments, but didn't manage to get past the 5% threshold in recent years. And fortunately, there is no threshold for the election to the European Parliament.
Okay, so a little bit about you. What are the causes that lies the closest to your heart?
Well, as I was saying, I'm a civil liberties activist. I'm a data protection expert. So I wrote my thesis on data retention, on the indiscriminate retention of telecommunications data, which I found to be incompatible with human rights and disproportionate. And I'm glad that the European Court of Justice has decided the same. And I have since often sued the government over surveillance laws. For example, scanning license plates, ANPR, or access to subscriber data, or I sued the government over, logging all visits to their websites, logging our online activities on government websites. That was the case where the European Court of Justice decided that IP addresses are protected as data. You might have heard of it. And I also sued the Commission over not disclosing documents on data retention and won that case. And most recently, I filed a complaint about keeping the border control secret, which is about developing a so-called video lie detector that is supposed to detect from a video image of people wanting to enter the EU whether they might be lying. And of course, it's voodoo technology, and they don't want to disclose the numbers. They don't want to disclose the ethics. And yes, that's why I'm called suing the Commission over that secrecy. So I've been active in the working group on data retention, which is a German NGO. I'm in touch with IDRI and just met them this week at the at a bar camp in Berlin, the Republika. And yes, I'm in touch with the Civil Liberties Group, and that's definitely my passion defending our liberties, the right to privacy, and also the internet.
Thank you. I would be happy to have you in the parliament getting some knowledge in there on these areas. Is sorely needed. So good luck if you get elected. Good luck in there. Now, a little bit of a touchy subject. There was a controversy surrounding one of your candidates. I think he was number 2 on your list. If you like, you can talk a little bit about that, address it, and maybe also the Me Too EP pledge that I've been seeing circulated by you and several others.
Well, first of all, I should say that at the moment we are polling at 1% in Germany, which would mean that we could regain the 1 seat that we have in the European Parliament, but we're quite away from getting 2 seats. So that is basically unrealistic, and that's why all the debate and discussion about other list candidates will most likely not be relevant. However, it is true that we've tried to remove one candidate from our list after it had become known that there were allegations of misconduct, of sexual harassment, and after a parliament committee also found that those allegations were founded. However, the election authority refused our request to remove him from the list because the candidate didn't cooperate, and because once all documents are submitted, it is not possible to retract a candidate. So therefore, there was controversy about people saying, why didn't you act earlier? Why didn't you act differently? Basically, it turned out to be a mistake to have asked the party, and that is very unfortunate, especially because we want to send a clear message to the party as party, and that encompasses.
Patrick, for me, the audio is breaking up. How's that for you, Ray?
Yeah, you broke up as soon as you started mentioning the Me Too pledge. You broke up a little bit. So if you wouldn't mind starting right there.
Yes, sure.
This is good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Don't know what it is. Okay, carry on.
That's good. Thanks for pointing it out to me. Well, what we want to make sure is that people understand the Pirate Party as the human rights party, and that encompasses women's rights, of course, and the integrity, and to be free from such harassment. And that is why I have signed this pledge that was published by Me Too EP. And it's basically about protecting employees and staff in the parliament better from sexual harassment. What they are calling for and what I support is compulsory training, both for members of parliament, which I will of course participate in, but also for staff, and also strict control and sanctions for any violations, which is just not happening at this point of time. A parliament is slack, and the administration doesn't even follow up on what the members of parliament have asked them to do, and that is definitely something that we'll have to work on.
Thank you for that explanation. We will try to add the Me Too EP tag and their website into publication of this video. Rico, did you have any follow-up question, or are we good there? I think so.
No, this is good. Thanks for clarifying this. I mean, it's and also what you mentioned in the European Parliament, that they would not follow up. Well, this is hardly the only topic that they're not doing their job. So good of you to take this one. What would be the other one? If you get elected, what would be your first thing that you would grab and try to improve there? Do you have one?
I think what is the privacy reform, Now, this is basically about protecting our privacy online. At the moment, we have, we keep having data scandals with people, with companies just losing our data, or sometimes even selling or abusing it. And basically, it's important to make sure that they can't track us without our consent. That is one of the goals in the context of this reform. But it's also about not allowing telecommunications and internet companies to retain data just in case. So there's some kind of voluntary data retention that would be of the privacy reform if it passed unchanged.
Yeah.
And so basically, since the first reading took place 2 years ago, it was very close. Conservatives are opposing this level of privacy. So what's necessary
For some
to make
reason, the
sure
audio is
that
breaking
the-
up again. So if you,
Okay.
yeah, and then it's back. It's how it's a stupid thing. Yeah, you're good now. Okay.
So it will be necessary for the new parliament to make sure that it sticks to its demand and that it won't soften up and that it calls on council to give up blocking this important reform on our privacy online.
Okay, just a quick check here, Rico. How many minutes do we have left? I have a couple more questions I wanted to ask.
Yeah, we're at 12, so I think we're doing good.
I'll do one short one then. Could you touch quickly upon the political landscape in your country? We're all interested in how the far right is doing, etc.
Well, what's most interesting is the large traditional parties. They've long dominated the political landscape in Germany, but the Social Democrats have lost a lot of trust. And so they're down from like 30 to only about 15% at the moment because they just keep giving in to anything. Last time, copyright reform, it showed that despite a clear coalition agreement that upload filters are disproportionate, the German government still agreed to council and made them possible. And that, of course, meant that the Social Democrats lost a lot of support. And even the Christian conservatives, Angela Merkel's party, is losing support, although they have quite a tight grip on the country. Still, they're at about 30%, but still down from a lot more that they had. And that is also due to, people having the impression, also in the context of the copyright reform, that they aren't actually taking young people seriously, that they aren't actually considering the facts, but that they're influenced by lobbyists, that their politics is in the interest of industry rather than in the interest of citizens. And that is costing them trust, which is a good thing.
But it's the same thing same thing all through Europe, right? It's the same thing in Holland.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, especially since the party that's gained from this is mostly the Greens party. However, the nationalist and authoritarian AfD, Alternative for Germany, it means translated, they're at about 12%, which isn't really so much in comparison to other countries, but still for Germany, it's a lot because we should have learned from our lessons from the past, and a lot of people aren't. I think that some part of their voters aren't really voting because they're nationalists themselves, but because they want to send a message to the government that they are unhappy and dissatisfied and frustrated with the way politics is taking place at the moment, which is so far removed from citizens and from social justice, and they aren't working effectively on climate change. And so many people are unhappy and are threatening to be drawn in by those nationalist parties. And that's why the work of the pirate parties is so important, because we present an alternative how to update the system without eroding human rights and democracy.
And we're going to let that be the last words of this. Quite quite an important message. This has been a little chat with Patrick Breyer from number 1 on the Pirate Party of Germany's list for the European elections, with Rico Brouwer and Ray Johansson. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Good luck.
Thank you.